Welcome to my channel. We have here Gord and Shirley. We are going to discuss something about why is it important to have a licensed broker when considering the purchase of property here in the Philippines. And I think that's very, very important thing that we need to learn, especially if you are an alien or foreigner. Especially if you're an alien like him. Gord, you...
When purchasing a property, we take the team approach, and that means that we would always use a licensed broker, and of course we have Shirley for that. And then we use the attorneys, and I think you've interviewed the attorneys and got the legal standpoint.
Yeah.
And to just to kind of clarify what the rules is, what I consider a broker is the boots on the ground.
That's a good way to say it.
They're going to do the majority of the work. The attorneys are not going to go out and travel.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking earlier when they discussed the steps. I'm like, who's going to do all of that?
It's a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to give you a little bit of background, we started off in the real estate business back
2015 we started.
2015, and when we made that decision to get into the real estate business, it was based on Shirley's and my commitment to doing it right. And to doing it right meaning that we needed to be experts in the field of real estate. And so Shirley, at that time, there weren't very many brokers here in the New Beginning area. A lot of what we would call the unlicensed brokers, their knowledge is limited. And I shouldn't say their ethics are limited. They are not guided by professional ethics standards that brokers are. Correct, Shirley?
Correct.
Licensed brokers have to go to school.
Yes, of course. As a licensed real estate broker, there are things that you needed to do and you needed to study. So it's not like you're able to learn everything overnight. So of course you need the help of your mentor. You need the help of people who knows ahead of you. So first, you have to learn the ins and outs of the legalities, the documentation, titling. Now along the way, as a real estate broker, of course, you learn along the way. It's not that you learn everything overnight. So at first, but you need to know the basic. And for those people or salespeople who are not licensed, they don't know all those things. They don't know how it is to check the titling, check the access, and make sure that everything is good. And then, when you become a licensed real estate broker, first you have to go to school. You have to take
How many years is that?
Before, where you're just able to get units, like you have a certain time to go to seminar, and then that's one requirement to go to take the exam as a real estate broker.
So you have to pass the board exam.
You have to pass the board exam done by the professional regulatory commission, the PRC. Right now, I think I'm not so sure what year it is when there's already a 4-year course as a real estate broker. So that's when you can no longer do that thing when we did before. So every real estate broker will go to that school and then pass the 4-year course. So probably 2-year for those who already graduated in college. And then you have to also protect your client and both the buyer and the seller. Unlike in different countries where the seller is
have their own sellers and brokers have their own real estate brokers. So
but here in the Philippines, so we're protecting both of them. So we just have to make sure that both seller and buyer are happy with the negotiation, and of course we're helping them along the process. Unlike with unlicensed people, after they get their commission, they're gone. So when you call them, where's my title, or they don't have an office that the buyer goes through when there's a problem. For me, we're here to help out, even for after how many years, if they have issues can go to us, and then we try and resolve those issues. So with real estate here in the Philippines, it's so much complicated, I should say. It's not that I am hindering you. That's the reality.
But that's where you come in. You're gonna help.
Correct. So
Right?
I'm going to help make it as simple, as easier for you. All the burden, it goes to me.
Yeah, and Shirley brings up an important part. On some of the things she said there is that she's bound by the ethics of her professional regulatory license.
Yeah.
There have been cases where, a deal has come onto our table and Shirley says, I'm not getting involved in that. Yeah, we make a nice commission, but you know something? That puts my license at risk.
There are complications. Of course, I learned it the hard way. There are complications like what he was saying, even if how much money you're able to make out of it. But no, I told seller that you have to make sure all documents are in order before it goes to me. Because before I put it out in the market, I'm already doing the due diligence of the property, making sure that we're not wasting, the buyer's not wasting their time, I'm not wasting their time, the seller's not wasting their time. So even before I offer it to people, I have already done my part of it.
Yeah, and I think you'll see that a lot of times, and that's one of the frustrations I think that a lot of people in buying a property have, is that they get interested in the property, they like to go view the property, they like it, but then none of the documents check out, and so you've wasted their time. And Shirley doesn't allow us to be put in that position or herself be put in that position.
The thing with attorneys, they're holistically knows everything, and
Yeah.
me, I'm specific for the real estate. So that's and with experience and with all those that I have encountered, so I learned from it, and I'm able to apply it to different scenarios. If there are issues, if there are problems, and of course, with first-hand experience, that's when you learn.
Yes, exactly.
So you can help people or the buyer to be able to identify those problems. But there are instances when it's really such a good deal, and then the buyer would take the risk. So of course, I have to lay out everything what they're buying, and then I leave it to them if they really want to, but help with the help of their lawyer.
Okay.
So check, have everything checked.
So what you're saying is basically that transparency with the buyers, that hey, this is our concerns, and if you want to take that risk, then that risk is yours to take, and we will work on your behalf. But those risks, so it's a transparency thing. That,
I'm not a licensed appraiser. However, since I have an in-depth, I already know a lot of properties and what the buyer wants. So initially when seller asked us to market their property, I'll inform them after I check the property. I'll give my honest appraisal as to how much the value of it costs to replace, or exactly what's on the market. So that's when I give them the initial report, and then it would be up to them if they take it, they work on it, or they just want to sell it however they wanted to sell it. So as long as I'm able to give my personal appraisal of the property. And other people do valuation of the property. I mean, someone told me this, someone told me that, this is the value of the property. So I have to let them know that maybe that's what they want. However, in reality, how much the buyer would like to pay for that type of property. So that's what they need to know, the sellers. But of course, they want to make money out of the property. That's their prerogative.
So I think really what it boils down to, and don't get me wrong, Shirley, of course, is our licensed broker, but that doesn't mean she's the only one in the market. There are other good ones, and I know that, like, you got Jake Lapson, you got Roy with Purposing, you got even now in AJ, these are people that have been around a long time, and they are professionals. And so it's not just, you know, I don't want this to look like it's a promotional for us, although I'd like to promote us because I believe we're the best, but there are other good ones out in the area, sure. Yeah.
Yes, of course, there are. So it would be, but the thing is, you just have to, the buyer, you just have to find a licensed real estate broker to deal with the transaction. And that way they'll be more protected. Unlike with dealing with just the licensed ones, the salespeople.
Yeah.
That's my advice.
Maybe we should, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but if you're not licensed, it's against the law to be selling properties, is it not?
Is it? Yeah? Okay.
I mean, you cannot receive any commission if you're not a licensed real estate broker. Even if you're a licensed real estate salesperson, you still cannot receive the commission. It will be coursed through their broker, and then the broker will be the one to dispatch.
Yeah, that's something that we need to watch out, because there's a lot out there that are just like, you know, as a sideline. And
gone the first
just claiming that, okay, I know this property, sir, because this is something that you need to watch out when you go to, not just here in Magete, but other islands like Sikkim or in any island, Cebu, Manila. There are people that would like tap you, hey, are you looking for a property? Do you want a property overlooking the ocean? And they will tell you, I know someone. So this is something that you need to watch out and really, really be careful to consider. So that's why it's important to have a licensed broker that you can trust or that you resonate with, and not just anyone that tap you over like you need a property.
You're in the Philippines, and it's probably like that in most countries in Asia. You get a lot of experts in everything that are not really experts in anything, and I understand that they're out trying to make some money, and I respect that. But by the same token, from somebody that's a purchaser, you know, especially for us foreigners that are, you know, us aliens that are in our later years in life, we have one shot at this. You know, we can't, if we lose all our money, we can't earn more, you know.
Exactly.
And so it's very, very important to be very, very careful in our transactions. And when it comes to real estate, you don't get the same knowledge, experience, transparency from an unlicensed broker as you get from a licensed broker, and they're ethically bound and professionally bound to do that.
There's just maybe one notion that we have to take away from buyers, because they might be thinking that if you're dealing with a broker, licensed real estate broker, they might be thinking that the value of the property goes up. It's true. That's actually not true. If you're dealing with a unlicensed one, that's most probably what will happen. Because of course we're bound with legalities, we're bound with moralities. So we know that we should not be doing that one. We're here to help the transaction. We're here to make your life easier when you're purchasing the property here in the Philippines. And what else? I forgot.
But yeah, I think that you really touched on an important thing.
That is really good.
That it shouldn't be like if somebody's coming from the U.S., they very rarely would think of not using a broker for their.
That's a very common misconception.
And here it's 10 times more complicated. Why not? Why would you change that thinking? And you know, it just would not make any sense to do that. And if you're just looking at it from, okay, well, I can, and we have this sometimes where clients have asked Shirley, well, can I get the exact address of the property? And then they go and then and we actually had that with one guy, I think, where then he went directly to the person, cut us out of the commission, and there was problems with the sale. He came back and he wanted to, said, well, it was your listing. Well, you decided to go around us. You know, Shirley has no obligations or liabilities in this. If you had kept us in and there had been a commission to earn, then we are then it's something that you can go back and speak to Shirley about, because she is obligated to have given you the best advice. And
Exactly.
so it's not just the commission. Okay, I'm looking, well, I know I want to get out of paying the commission. Yeah, okay, sometimes you might be good at that, but sometimes what is it going to cost you?
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
what is it going to cost you if things go wrong, if you were led down the wrong path? So it's not just like the cost of the commission, it's what could it cost you?
Exactly, because what if there's, okay, let's just say the scenario that the person tried to go to the direct owner,
Yeah.
but then there's something wrong with the documents, which could have been her job
Yeah.
to do it, but then they overlook it because they cut her off.
You're on your own.
So
Yeah.
the cost of that, you know,
Yeah.
it's going to cost millions, or it depends on how much the property is and the headache.
Yeah.
So this,
We're taking the headache away from you. The headache goes to me
Yeah.
to check all those
Didn't I
documents.
say that about the construction? I paid for the headaches.
yeah.
It's the headache, it's the problem.
Yeah.
So you're making your life at ease. But anyway, even so, with a real estate broker, you still have to get your lawyer to, like, we're doing the initial checkup, maybe the middle checkup.
Yeah.
But the lawyer will be the one to make sure everything is in order. And
Right.
of course, the lawyer is the one making all the documentation, the notarial. So, but we're always here to help. As a licensed real estate broker, we're here to help making the transaction as easy as possible and working with the lawyer to do that.
So yeah, anything else that you need to add? Why do we have to? Why do we have to go to you? As you have mentioned, I would like to emphasize really emphasize the headache part, or taking out the stress part, and also I would like to emphasize the exposure and experience that a licensed broker has. That is really an important factor for you to have a flowy, better transaction with the property that we're going to have. So that is something that I would like to really emphasize on that. I have been working with Shirley personally, and I've seen her in action.
Yes.
With starting from the finding the property, how she really go there to the site. She doesn't just send anyone; she sent herself, and she answered all the questions.
Correct.
We have when we are asking about the property, everything, even as the details of the soil. She knows her thing, and this is something that I really salute on her, because she knows the property really by heart, and she will tell you everything, not just okay, tomorrow I'm gonna tell you that, so that's something that I really salute from her. So I've seen her work, so that's why I highly recommend her because of that. So yeah. So thank you so much, Shirley.
Welcome. Thank you.
Big thank you for sharing your experience and knowledge in my channel. A lot of people will benefit from this. So thank you so much.
Welcome. I'm glad that I can be of help to anyone who's looking for property. Just like what Leah is saying, I personally do all the work. So from finding the property, from checking all the documents, from talking to the seller, talking to the buyer, making sure everything is in order. And of course, during the closing transaction, I'm there. So everything. Just one person work. But no, I got a lot of help also from other people.
Yeah, but you're always there.
I'm always here.
Her presence is in from the start to finish. She's there for you.
Thank you. Thank you for the recommendation also.
Thank you also, Gord.
Okay.
Say bye-bye like this. Bye.
Bye.